Hari Om. Let's start with the prayer. Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanura Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Vidya Dravidam Tvameva Sarvam Mamadeva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Gurudeva Deva. Hari Om. We are doing the Karma Yoga, the series, and we made statement of Krishna in the 9th chapter. Says bhakti becomes an ingredient of a Karma Yoga. So when 3rd chapter started, says Lokesmin Dvividhanishta Pura Prokta Mayanaga Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam Karma Yogena Yoginam. This was a statement here, but in that statement, the implication is there is only 2 yogas. One is Karma Yoga and another is Bhakti Yoga. But what about the Karma Yoga and the Jnana Yoga? But what about the Bhakti Yoga? Bhakti Yoga is not specifically said as one yoga because it is the essential ingredient in both Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga. In the Karma Yoga, this Bhakti involves an Ishvara who is the Lord external to me because I feel I am only this limited body. That's why I am performing an action. And in the future, the understanding in the future, the totality is assumed that it is the Lord, and therefore I perceive the Lord is the universe and the Lord is creator of the whole universe who is different from me. That is the implication of the very Karma Yoga also. Therefore the Lord is the whole controller and being controlled, including this body, mind and intellect also. All that is implied. When we go to Jnana Yoga, the nature of Bhakti becomes different, as we will see the definition of how Vivekachudamani provides the Bhakti definition. But here it says Ishvara is the creator, sustainer, and Prabhu Sakshi is the one who is the whole, the Prabhu, and he is Laya and also Layakara as well as Srishtikara and Siddhikara. All that is implied. That means he is the one who created and he is the one who sustains and into which it goes back. And that is the Lord, and to him I am only offering. All that is implied in this. Now we analyze a little bit more of Karma Yoga to complete this series. The Karma itself we have defined as there are different types of karma. One is called 4 or 5 types. One is called the Nitya Naimitika karma, put it into 2, Nitya karma and Naimitika karma are together as a Niyamita karma. These are called obligatory duties, and that I had to do as long as I am living. I had to perform these actions, and what this Niyamita karma will keep changing depending upon the roles that I am and ashrama that I am doing. All that is implied in the Niyamita karma. So that's one type of karma. It's an obligation, just as snanameva, just like taking a bath. So what do I gain by taking a bath? You may not gain anything. In fact, you may lose something because all the dirt is gone away. So all the Niyamita karma, which are obligatory duties, by performing I may not gain anything, but I lose the vasanas in the process, because those are called impurities of the process. So that has to be niyatam kuru. That's what Krishna teaches Arjuna. You do your obligatory duties because you are paid as an army officer, and now you cannot run away from it because you have enjoyed the benefits of the society. Now it's your duty to play the role of a defender of the dharma, where injustice cannot be prolonged. It has to be stopped. That's a part of your Kshatriya dharma. So you have to do it. So Nitya Naimittika karma is one type of karma. The second type of karma is called Kamya karma, that is desire prompted activities. There is no obligation, but there is a desire. Hey, let's go and have some Chinese food today. There is no obligation, but it's a desire prompted action. So per action where to fulfilling a desire. And the desires can be the two types. One is dharmic desires, another is adharmic desires. So I cannot have desires that hurt everybody else. Hey, let's go and beat the other fellow. That's not even though I may have a desire, I should not do it. That is adharma. Whereas let's go and help other people, then that becomes a dharma. So what is dharma and what is dharma also has to be known in the process where I should do, I should not do within the karma. So dharma, artha, kama, moksha, these are the four pursuits in life where I earn also. Earning and the effort in the process also has to be a dharmic way of earning and dharma. And earning the wealth also has to be dharmic, and even the enjoying also has to be dharmic also. Whatever that within the society, within the limitations, I can enjoy. So if my body permits, hey, let's have good food today, provided it is dharmic according to my dharma. If I am diabetic, then I cannot eat sweets. That becomes adharma, because that is not conducive for my health. So all that is implied in the kamya dharma, kamya karma. So we have nitya naimitya karma, which are called niyamita karma. Those are obligatory duties, and the kamya karma, desire prompted activities. And most of the people, we run after this, because not the obligatory duties, but this desire prompted. We have many desires, and the more I try to satisfy the desires, the more they grow up only. I told you, like pouring ghee or petrol into the fire to put out the fire. You can never quench those, because the more you get bound to that, called bandhakatvam, is a part of this problem. So if I understand and apply and then enjoy, not that one should not enjoy life, one should enjoy life, but within the dharma. Therefore, the kamya karma has to be. But if the kamya karma is also offered to the Lord, I have desired to eat some good sweets, but let me make a good lot of sweets and offer it to you. Once it offers to him, it becomes a naivedyam. And naivedyam, when he comes back, it becomes a prasadam. Prasadam you should not eat by yourself. In every instance, distribute the prasadam. You take your share, what you can take, and distribute also others. That attitude has to be developed. So even kamya karma can be done, provided you bring the Ishvara Arpita Buddhi. And that's what essentially implied in reducing the kamya karma and increasing the nitya naimittika karma only. And that is the second aspect of the karma. Then there are called nishiddha karma, where one should not do. Therefore, hurting other people unnecessarily, himsa, all these things one should not do for your pleasures, sadistic pleasures. This one should not do. Those called it is the nishiddham, either by the society or the culture or by your own value system, one should not do. That's called the nishiddha karma. By mistake, if you do without your knowledge, and there should be a repair action, that's called prayaschitta karma. Prayaschitta means action that to repair previous action which should not have been done. So when I hurt somebody, I say, I'm sorry. Whether the person accepts or not is not the point, but my attitude in recognizing that I should not have done, and that prayaschitta will relieve me, whereas it may not relieve the other person. He may have a vengeance and all that, but I am free. So that also becomes important. So we have nitya naimittika karma, kamya karma, nishiddha karma, and prayaschitta karma. In all these things, I have only choice in the action, not in the results, but performing the action is my choice. In the Nitya Naimittika karma, that means obligatory duties, obligation depends upon the role that I am playing. We discuss about depends upon whether I am a father, whether I am a student, whether I am, so each one has particular roles. And that has to be done all through my life, because I am living in the society where I depend on the society for my food. The vegetables are coming from somewhere and the farmers are helping. All those things are important in that. And these Nitya Naimittika karma also are divided, called Pancha Yajnas, Pancha Mahayajnas, are also offered where Deva Yajna, Buddha Yajna, Manushya Yajna, all are involved in terms of where I am performing the activities toward the Lord, toward the phenomenal forces, toward the fellow human beings, and even to the insects and animals also I have an obligation, and I should not be hurting them unnecessarily. So all that is implied in the Nitya Naimittika karma. In addition to that, the Vedas also prescribe certain obligatory duties. And what are those particular obligatory duties? There are certain things that, depending upon how you have been brought up, your culture, your tradition will provide you. And is also discussed in the Vedas, depending upon, called Varnashrama Dharma. Depending upon what role you are playing in a particular Varnam or in particular society, and particular, you have to perform that action. And that is also Veda Vihita karma. All these things become important. As I become more and more mature in the evolutionary process, all other desires will go away, Kamya karma will be less and less, and the Nishiddha karma I won't be doing, and Prayaschitta karma is not needed, and all I'll be doing is only obligatory duties. And the obligatory duties also will start reducing depending upon the role that I am taking. As I start withdrawing myself, my obligation also becomes less and less. Obligation to the body is required, obligation to the surroundings are required. These are called the runas, or obligation is society, I am responsible. So what is dharma also we should know a little bit. So dharma has been defined extensively, and says that which provides the whole universe in movement properly, that which supports the whole universe is dharma. So if you look at the dictionary, dharma will have pages and pages of meaning, but here the meaning is that you follow the rules and regulations is your dharma. And therefore, in the Kathopanishad, it says even the gods follow their rules and regulations out of fear, because the Supreme Lord, of fear of Supreme Lord. So the air follows its dharma, gravitation follows its dharma. So every phenomenal forces follow its role as per the rules of this one. It cannot violate the rule. That means everything has to be appropriate, and that is dharma. So what is my dharma in the society where I am given an intellect here to choose, and I have to choose properly? So best way of knowing simple concept is, I should not do what I don't want others to do to me. I should not do what I don't want others to do to me. I don't want to lie because I don't want others to lie to me. These are the value system. I don't want to steal anybody's property because I don't want others to steal my property. This becomes a problem. So all values, if you say what I should not do because I don't want others to do, and therefore I should not do. The problem is, even the thief knows that stealing is bad, because he knows that stealing is bad, because he doesn't want anybody to steal his stolen property, and he cannot go to even court. He is only kills the other fellow, because that's the only way he can solve the problem. So he knows that value of the system, only he wants other people to follow the value, but himself follows. So when I lie, what really happens when I lie? We should know that. From the point of Adhyatmika, from the point of evolution of the mind, we should know what happens. When I lie, who knows that I am lying? The one who is lying knows. Because I know the truth, and I am distorting the truth for some convenience. Intellect knows what is the truth, the mind comes into picture to distort it for convenience. So there is a problem here with the intellect making a decision to know that it knows the right, but mind is compromising it, and whenever I compromise against my own intellectual judgment, I am splitting the personality where intellect knows what is right and mind is for convenience or a fear, it is telling a lie. Whenever I give importance to the mind which is subservient to the intellect, I am making the mind more than the intellect, which means that mind can overrule even the intellectual judgment, and I become like any other passionate person where the passion is dictating my judgment call. What I know it is wrong, but at the same time I am doing it out of passion, and that means I have become more like an animal. So whenever I split the personality of my own personality, where intellectual personality and the emotional personality, when it gets splitted because of my desires to enjoy, that vasanas are coming, splitting my personality, then I will lose the will even to study also. So a lot of people say, yes, I want to become something, I want to do something, including starting exercise. From tomorrow onwards, I will be doing the exercise. You make a decision. But when tomorrow comes, emotions say, let me sleep today, tomorrow I will start doing. Why? My emotional mind is overpowering my intellectual judgment. I cannot follow my own values. And that is what it is adharma. Whenever the mind and intellect are diverging, and Swami Chinmayananda case, that is a sin. The sin depends upon the degree of divergence between the mind and intellect. Greater the divergence, greater the sin. When an animal performs an action, it has no intellect, therefore there is no divergence. A tiger kills its prey because it's hungry, but that's the nature itself. It's not committing any sin. Nor cow eating, being a vegetarian, it's not glorifying itself because that's what is been programmed. Whereas a human being has a choice. He can eat or not to eat. So he can go to vegetarian restaurant or non-vegetarian restaurant. The choice is given to him. So what choice you have to use, it depends upon your value system also. So therefore, one has to be careful in terms of, as a human being, I had to appropriately select or choose properly so that it has to be dharmic action. So in the nitya naimittika karma, actions have to be done, and action has to be done with an attitude of offering to the Lord, and that becomes a karma yoga, and that becomes a purity itself or purification itself. In the karma yoga, Krishna says in the end, Mai sarvani karmani sanyasya adhyatma chetasa nirasi nirmamo bhutva yuddhasva vigatadjvaraha. So, Mai sarvani karmani, all actions you do, that's why yat karoshi dashnasi, whatever you do, offer it to him. Not necessarily any action, any mechanical action also offer it to him. When I offer, I develop an attitude in my mind. So, sanyasya, giving up the results of the action, I said, this is mine, and all that, offer everything to him. Adhyatma says, nirasi, without any expectations, nirmamo, without any delusions, bhutva, yuddhasva vigatasvaraha. So perform your fight, O Arjuna, with giving up all this, surrendering to me. You do your role as because you are the commander of chief, or you are in the entering into the field. So for us, in every field, wherever we are fighting our own system, that means whatever we are performing an action in the society, we have to perform with that attitude, and that becomes a karma yoga. So karma yoga is where I have a notion that I am a karta, I am a doer. As long as I am a notion that I am a doer, then perform an action with an attitude of service. But once I evolve, I recognize that I am not even a doer also, and that also has to be recognized as we go. Then who is a doer? So Krishna says, Prakriti kriyamanani gunai sarvani gunai karmani sarvashaha Prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasa ahankara vimudatma kartahamiti manyate. Only ahankari, only I have a wrong notion that I am a doer, and therefore I am suffering the consequence of the doing itself. I give a simple example. In olden days, they used to carry big trunks in the train, and one villager brought a very big trunk, and with all the trunk, he sat in the train, and he saw everybody bringing big canes, and he felt pity for the train. So he said, I want to help the train. So he took the big trunk and put it on his head, thinking that will help the train. And sitting in the train, he is putting and then suffering the consequence of that. So somebody said, why don't you put it down? No, it will be heavy for the train. I am helping the train. This is how we are trying to say, I am claiming I am a doer. By what? By this body, mind and intellect. What is the body, mind, intellect? It is part of the Prakriti, it is part of the creation, and he himself became a creator. So even the body, mind, intellect itself is his, and that's what is Prakriti itself. And Krishna says this is the law, really true. Prakriti kriyamanani sarva gunai karmani sarvasa. Is a Prakriti guna, all actions are being done by the Prakriti itself. Prakriti chevaja karmani kriyamanani sarvasaha. And ahankara vimudatma, only vimudha, only a fellow, foolish fellow thinks that I am a doer, and therefore kartaham, I am the doer itself, iti manyate, and therefore he becomes a karta, bhokta, and therefore vasanas come into picture. So in the evolution of a karma yoga, not only I am offering the results of the action, I am performing, at the same time recognize that it is the Lord only performing through me. I am only a witnessing, and let the perform by the Lord himself. This he touches more exhaustively in the 4th chapter, where karmaya pasyetu. Even when action is going on, one recognizes that I am not a doer, while the body, mind, intellect is acting accordingly what is required. And that should be the correct understanding of the action. With this we will stop, and we will do in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Okay.